you got offers, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got offers, and a lot of times, man, when you have too many options, that could actually confuse people. You know what I'm saying? Well, they don't want nothing. So talk about, like, as a father, still trying to be dad, right, and pushing them, but also helping them navigate through making choices and decisions and letting him kind of make it for himself, but then want to kind of jump in. Like, talk about that.
Well, basically, I just told him, man, just, you know what you're there for first. You're there for business. It's a business trip. It's not, you ain't really there for just to play around. You're going there for business. Stay grounded. Know where you come from. You know where you come from. You know where we come from. Know our background. Be respectful. Of your peers, older, young. Be a role model. Somebody's always watching. Always carry yourself to the highest standards. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't change.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Yeah. Be yourself.
Pretty much it sounds like values, man. Getting him,
Welcome to the Cypher. Flow harder than the hands on Peter Piper. And now we would like to introduce you to your rivals. It's like Ali and Tyson. The hook miss with the liking. Show nothing, Mr. Bison. Maximus and Leonidas. You were in the booth with Titans. Goons, goblins, and Vikings. It ain't really nothing like us.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of the L.I.T Code. I am Courtney Anderson, a.k.a. Big C, one half of the L.I.T Code with Edgar Jones. We want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Last week's episode featuring Tayshawn and Boogie Wilson. Still doing good numbers. A lot of people reached out, got a lot of feedback on it. We appreciate y'all as always. If you watch for 1 minute, if you watch for an hour, we appreciate you just the same, man, because without y'all, we'll just be some dudes talking. And we can do that on the phone. We know what each other look like. So appreciate y'all. So today we have some special guests on again, right? Another stalwart athlete, right? Another highly touted athlete out of the Texas area, by way of Raver. Is actually enrolled at University of Texas right now. Went to Seguin out in Arlington. Three-sport star athlete, right?
Right.
Track, basketball, but football where we made the head, right? 3 different positions on the field: quarterback, receiver, corner, right? First and foremost, I want to shout out his father at the bottom, Stuart Brice. I was talking about Xavion Brice. Let me get that out the way first. His father, Stuart Brice Sr. At the bottom, his mother, Angelita. I want to shout them out because they're doing a wonderful job of raising not only Xavion, but the other 2 children as well. Stuart Jr. running track at Fort Scott, if I'm not mistaken. Then you got Xavion at UT, and you have your daughter, Latasha, coming up behind them, man. Great job on y'all raising them, keeping them out of harm's way, especially in this climate today. Stuart and I talked before we started recording, man. It's pretty rough out there for our youth, right? And so to see you all setting them on a path that keeps them above that that's going on, man. I want to shout you out personally, publicly. Kudos to you, man. Salute to you on that. Xavion, man, great job. I'm gonna say this, right? I spent a lot of time around 95, 96, 97-ish. Tim Tennant, my big cousin, kept me everywhere, right? And we never done this before, Edgar, but I'm sure everybody on here won't mind me dedicating this episode to one Tommy Ray Brice, right? Razor, Spanking. Rest in peace to him. Want to dedicate this one to him, right? So I remember Tim taking me. I needed a haircut, right? And I was a little boy. And Tim took me to this little light-skinned dude over in the West. And all I remember was this dude grabbing my head so hard. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't tell me to turn. He just palming and tip, but this dude talks so much noise, right? I just be looking like, who is this dude? And Tim told me that was Spanking, right? So anyway, let me get back to Stuart. So I spent a lot of time around that football team, those football teams coming up. I can remember cats like Bay Hop, Peanut, Sean Baker and them, Stuart, right? Now, Stuart was a little guy, heart the size of Texas, though, right? I don't know how many times I heard where if Stuart could have been 6'1", 6'2", Stuart could have been 175, 200 pounds, right? Then voila, right? Elgin and I talk about this all the time. We say, man, I wish I could go back. Well, we can with our children, right? So boom, all of a sudden I start seeing this kid that I started calling the cheat code on Stuart's pages, right? He jumping over everybody. He running people over. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, who is that? Stuart's son. So we got the do-over, man. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't be the 6'2". You couldn't be the 175, but you put it on him. And I see that rave of heart and determination and grit and will and just like, I'm going to beat you every time. I see that in him. I know where it come from. I know you put it in him. Salute to you again. Xavion, big shout out to you for all you do on the field, for staying in trouble off of it, man. And we just want to welcome y'all to the show. I'm going to shut up so Elgar can say his piece to y'all.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. The only thing I will say is, first of all, hey, thank y'all again for joining in and checking us out and continuing to support us. We appreciate it. And Stuart, man, I text me, you hit each other a couple of days ago, a message on Facebook message, man. But again, you know, to see you, what happened with your son now, what he's experiencing going down in Texas is big, but the impact that you've had in his life and being present goes without even words. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we see a lot of cats that go to school and get these big time scholarships and go play ball, basketball, football, whatever. But actually to have a protector next to him, you know what I'm saying? That dad that walk in there with them, man, that's what it's about. So again, salute you, bro. But Court, I'll pass it back to you, man.
So Xavier, how you liking that UT life? How it's treating you out there?
They treat me good out here. It's straight.
Yeah. So, a few months back, well, first, originally, you committed to Kansas, right? And then you end up committing to Oklahoma. And then you switched that commitment to UT. Can you talk about what went into that decision to make the switch to UT from Oklahoma?
The switch from Oklahoma to UT was because of the coaches. They left. And I didn't feel comfortable with the new head coach, Coach Venables. He's not a bad coach. Didn't feel comfortable with him. So it's a UT when I came on my official visit here, and I really loved it when I came.
That's so what position will you be playing at UT? Corner. Okay. Any receiver wrapped into that, or just strictly corner?
Strictly corner.
Strictly corner. I want to talk about that too, because we talked about it on Tayshawn's episode. But that switch, so to go from calling yourself a quarterback or receiver in high school at your size, right? When you make that switch to corner, that automatically sets you aside from everybody else, right? Because 6'1", 6'2" receivers, 175, 180, like that's typical. When you switch that to corner though, right, and you play it like you play it, then we had a whole different ball game, right? So shout out to y'all on that switch. I don't know who decision there was to make it, but shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of put that spotlight on you. And then when they come see you, the measurables, they got you listed as 6'2". Your wingspan, when you stretch out those, and I'm thinking you got to be 6'5", 6'6", right?
I started 8.5.
Yeah, Look, man, I started calling him the cheat code a long time ago when I first saw him because you could just tell his jumping ability and all that stuff. May I ask you this because I like to talk to people about letting their children play both ways. Cause I coached a lot of your cousins, man. I coached all the Spanking sons that played until you got past Trey. Light Trey, not sure, you know, he got he got a few of them, but light-skinned Trey was the last one I coached. But anyway, how does playing receiver, right, and quarterback, how does that help you at the cornerback position? Because I know you got advantage by playing those positions.
So it'll help me because it's not really, like as a receiver, it's not really a lot of routes that you can run as an inside receiver. Mm-hmm. So it's receiver line up, I can tell like if he finna go in or he finna do an outside move or an inside route or an outside route. Mm-hmm. So with that, and it also helps me keep my eyes on their hips. Playing quarterback. With me playing quarterback, it helped me read the defense better. So like that also has a big part into it. Then I can also see if a quarterback is finna throw it or he's finna hand the ball off. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you couple that with your physical attributes, that's a big combo there, right? We got a recipe for disaster on the other side. A lot of people see the offers, they see the visits, they see you shining at Seguin, they see you, you know, in your UT jersey and now the big time pictures and all that. But the work, right? I saw a lot of pictures, a lot of times your dad at every camp, right? Doing all that extra work, putting that extra work in, right? Talk about what it means to be putting that work in and being able to look to that sideline and seeing your pops over there, knowing he there behind you all the way.
That means a lot because, you know, a lot of kids ain't got their parents around like that. They ain't got their fathers around to help them with stuff like that. So with him being on the sidelines, watching me going to camps and official visits and stuff like that, it means a lot.
Gotcha. Stuart, I don't know this feeling, right? It's a feeling I hope I can know one day, but my children are a little younger. But knowing you've been putting work in with your son from here to now, right, and seeing it coming to fruition, man, how does that make you feel? Can you explain that feeling?
And it's unexplainable, dog. When I say really unexplainable, I've been living my best life, man. Through them, my children, yeah. Bro. Even though they're working hard, it was taking me places. Mm-hmm. I've seen people I never thought I would meet. Up to my, man, I can't explain
it, man. Yeah. Edgar, what you stewing
yeah.
on? I see.
Yeah, man.
Hey, nah, yeah. You you know, to be able to live through your children. I got a 3-year-old son, and I got one on the way in September, little girl, but I got my 14-year-old daughter. So being able to watch her and see how she's doing in school, and being able to live through your children and see how they doing, let them know how proud of them that you are. Stuart, you know, obviously you got that work ethic in you. You got that dog in you. Now you got your son, your boys, right, that you been trying to mold them into being better young men. Now with Xavion, as he's going through, you know, all these different people that's reaching out to him, coaches that's talking to him, you know, people hitting up on social media. Like, talk about it as a dad. How do you find that fine balance of pushing him, helping him make decisions? Because there's a lot of decisions. You know, it ain't like Waikiki University is offering him a scholarship. It ain't no Waikiki out there. You know, you got offers, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got offers, and a lot of times, man, when you have too many options, that could actually confuse people. You know what I'm saying? Well, they don't want nothing. You know, so talk about, like, as a father, still trying to be dad, right, and pushing them, but also helping them navigate through making choices and decisions and let him kind of make it for himself, but then want to kind of jump in? Like, talk about that.
Well, basically, I just told him, man, just, you know what you're there for first. You're there for business. It's a business trip. It's not, you ain't really there for just to play around. You're going there for business. Stay grounded. You know where you come from. You know where you come from. You know where we come from. Know our background. Be respectful, of your peers, older, young. Be a role model. Somebody's always watching. Always carry yourself to the highest standards. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't change.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Yeah. Be yourself.
Pretty much it sounds like values, man. Getting him, integrity, being humble. If there's one thing that a man should live his life with values, so when I'm living through values, man, it's very hard to kind of get off track with that. When my decisions are being based off of how I'm treating people, how I'm talking to people, staying humble. So you instilling those values in him is extremely, extremely important. And those values will never go away. Them conversations y'all have, you talking to him like that. And then two, especially I can imagine with his generation, you don't see a lot of that. So I'm pretty sure to the coaches, the individuals that's looking at him, that's something outside of just what he did on the field, off the field. They stood out. Xavion, you like how many different sports did you play?
3.
Like what made you go football? What made you choose football?
Well, I chose football because that was basically the first sport I really started playing. So I fell in love with that sport since I was young. I didn't play basketball until I really got to early middle school, late elementary. Track, I didn't run track until middle school. So I always played football since I was little.
Gotcha. So obviously, man, people get a chance to see your highlights. They get a chance to see the 60-second flashes on Instagram, social media, whatever. Talk about what goes on in the dark. When I say the dark, like the extra training you got to do. Because, a lot of people don't get a chance to see that and understand that process. Like how much work that you put in outside of just what was required of you to be on the football field, to go into the weight room. Talk about that. What that look like?
It's straight work every day. Like behind closed doors, people don't need to know what you doing behind closed doors for real. So like every time when I'm not really around somebody, I'm working, getting better at my craft, getting better at quarterback, receiver, and DB. So yeah.
Yeah. When you look at your game, when you look at like all the things you do well, like what do you feel like you need to improve on?
For right now, I feel like since it's really my first time playing corner, I really need to focus on like my hips, coming at my breaks faster. Like, yeah.
Gotcha. No, that's good to hear you say that, man. I know you know this, when you look at watching film, for the people that, has probably haven't played sports before, when you're watching football, there's a couple of things that goes into watching film. Is obviously watch your opponent, watch what they do, but the other part of it is to be able to examine and watch yourself to see like what you need to improve on. So to hear you say that, man, that's big. I could definitely see how humble you are in your approach and what you do. What's your goal with this? Because now, you in Texas. How long you been out for?
I've been out here for like 4 weeks.
What's the goal? What's the goal with this?
My goal with this football is to make it to the NFL. That's my dream. I'm playing the league at least 10 to 15 years if I can. Then after that, do something like going into coaching or something.
What's your why? Like why you do this? What motivates you? Go ahead. Okay. All right, man.
It's short and sweet.
Hey, I like it, man. I like it, dude. It's always cool, man, to talk to. I would consider myself old now to talk to younger cats and just see how laser focused y'all are, like what you want to do and what you need to be doing. What you got to. You have to understand that. You got to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it's easy to get caught up in the distractions, but to see and hear your focus of the direction you want to go and what you want to do is big, man. So I salute you for what you're doing and continue to keep staying grounded, bro, and staying humble in your approach and continue to be that cat that's behind closed doors doing the work that can't nobody see, That's what move is made, but that's where the real things is made behind closed doors that people can't see, and that's where you could be honest with yourself. But Court, I'll pass it back. I'll pass it back to you, man.
Yeah, so I'm peeping how it's my first time ever talking to him, but I've been, following him for a while through Stuart, right? And I can tell from like homecoming pics, prom pics, all that he a laid back, cool fella, right? I can tell by talking to him now, he real laid back, cool. But on that field though, right? We like to talk about Edgar's a laid back guy. When Edgar has a speaking engagement now, that's when he lights up, right? Stuart laid back. When you're on the field, that's when you light up. I like to do music. So if I'm in the studio, if I'm speaking, that's when I light up. So when he asks why you chose football, I can tell anyway, because that's where you light up, you know what I'm saying? That laid back cat turns into something else. So what are you tapping into, right? When you turn that switch on, right? Because some people can't do that. We call them lichens, right? That's what Edgar and I like to call each other. And you from lichens, that's like a werewolf, except a lichen was born a lichen. So he ain't a human that got bit. He a werewolf that switch form when he want to. You see what I'm saying? You come from a place, right? Your daddy come from a place full of, right? Full of lichens. Tank Brice, Peanut Brice, Stuart Brice, right? Liking. You know what I'm saying? All beasts, right? So what are you tapping into when you turn that switch on to go from cool guy to when that face mask, when you pull that face mask down, they play the national anthem, kickoff. What are you tapping into?
What I'm really tapping into is like, it's like, before I line up, I'm thinking like, this dude right here in front of me is stopping my parents and them from eating. So like, that's what make me go harder every day. You stopping me from eating and you stopping my parents from eating too. So
you gotta get it, right? You gotta get it. I can tell, man. I can tell you ain't tapping it. It ain't just something that's not tangible. It's something that's real near dear to your heart because you play. You can see people who've been around sports. You can tell when somebody playing off just pure athleticism. You can tell when somebody playing off of just hard work, but then you can tell when somebody playing out of their heart, right? Because everybody working, right? There's a lot of athletes say, you at UT now. Everybody y'all play every week, y'all go somewhere else, and everybody in their locker room with you. They a top tier athlete. They working. They work hard. What's gonna separate them though? They're pumping in your chest. Your why. What you thinking about when you turn that switch on? Everybody ain't thinking about that. Some people just thinking, I'm better than him because everybody said I'm better than him, right? You ain't even said you was better than nobody. Ain't what you said you thought. You said, I'm thinking they stopping me from eating. They stopping my family from eating. It don't matter if he better than me or not. I got to take his heart because he's trying to take mine. That's what I love about the game of football. Football is going to last that long, right? Yeah. You take that same mentality out into the world with you every day, right? And everything you do, you're going to be a great. You great. It ain't got nothing to do with sports, right? Some people just got it on them, right? Got it in them. It's in them, it ain't on them. That's RIP the ship, right? He used to always tell me that, man, it's in me, it ain't on me. It's in you, right? So if you carry that with you everywhere you go and you keep that same attitude, sky the limit for whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned coaching afterwards. Keep that same mentality, you're going to be the best coach ever. You stick to them values that Stuart told you about, you're going to be the best at it. Speaking of the best, right? I just saw some UT news that y'all got Arch Manning, which is the number one player in the nation right now, to commit. Which means, guess what? More cameras. It's a new thing out now called NIL, right? It's gonna be all of that floating around, which might be some pressure on the squad. Now, I can tell just by looking at you and tell by your demeanor, pressure ain't something that really bothers you. But is there any added pressure knowing y'all got somebody that big time coming and knowing now? Because last year UT didn't send nobody to the league through the draft. Nobody. Sarkisian coming in trying to make sure that don't happen no more. You part of that, right? Getting somebody like Arch gonna be part of that. So pressure comes with that. So if any pressure, if you are feeling any, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with pressure? What's your recipe for dealing with that?
I really been going through a lot of pressure a lot. So what I do is I just let that pressure come and I'll deal with it on my own. So it's just like, it comes. I'm gonna get through it either way it goes.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you from experience, I'm sure your dad can tell you, Edgar can tell you for sure. Most of the time where there's pressure or adversity, all the time, if it don't kill you, there's room for growth. So it's like it's put there on your plate so you can get big enough to handle what the universe and God got for you down the road or in front of you. I like to talk about it like Super Mario eating the mushroom, right? Got to go hit it. Got to eat it to get big enough to jump over them obstacles. I don't know why I'm going crazy up here, but he's got to get it, right? Got to get that pressure so he can be big enough to handle what's coming next. So it's good that you invite it in. Keep doing that. Keep inviting pressure in. Keep inviting adversity in, because you know on the other side of it, right? It's probably a time when you couldn't put one plate on each side of the bar and lift it, right? It was hard. You kept on, right? You kept pushing through it, and before you know it, now you can get 225 off of you, right? That's because that adversity is there to build you, get you stronger, get you ready for it, man. So I'm happy that you look at pressure like that. The guy sitting down here, Edgar, I don't know if you met Edgar before or ever talked to him, but he's already reached that goal you want to reach. And I'm sure he's going to tell you before he get off of here. You can get his number. You can talk to him anytime, but he played in the league 7 years, right? One of the last ones from Raver to do it in the league, right? What you're doing, you got a Nietzsche Sledge at Auburn, right? You got Tayshaun coming up. AJ Reynolds going to be coming up soon. Haltom after Kelly's son, right? We got Tay Gayden from Mangum out at Austin Peay right now. We got Jacoby Grace at Bearhaven. It's a little cuz at Bearhaven. But what you're doing is same thing, Edgar, that you kicking the door down, right? It's gonna be a lot of kids behind you watching you, right? Like your dad said, somebody always watching. I want you to know that whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, you're a walking, breathing inspiration for a lot of kids behind you. When I talked about spending a lot of time around that football team in 96, 97, those years, we just used to want to stand by and touch the players on their shoulder pads, right? Couldn't wait to do it, but that changed a lot of people's lives. A lot of us played football because we saw them doing it. A lot of kids gonna play football because they saw Xavion and Brice do it. Do you keep that in mind when you out day to day? You know what I'm saying? Just outside or off the field. Do you keep that in mind? Do you understand that you are inspiration to some kids coming up? You are a role model. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Good. Man, I'm just proud of you for staying out of trouble, because when I Google your name, right, accolades pop up. Nothing else. So a spotlight on you. You know what I'm saying? So now that line you've been walking on is getting thinner and thinner. I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you've been doing. I want to encourage you to where if you see things going left, I don't care who it is, who you with, your boys, your teammates, your homeboys, you see stuff going left, go right. Think about that man up there in the top left corner, right? Think about your mama. Think about your brother, your sister, all your cousins. Y'all got a big family. You said they're your wife. Keep them in mind, right? At all times, because you, unfortunately, the bigger you get, the more of a target you're gonna be for people. Everybody that watches this, everybody that gave you kudos and see your highlights and stuff, not all of them are for you. Not all of them like you. Not all of them love you. Some people want to see you down. So keep that in mind too. It's just some words of encouragement for me, something to keep in your mind, man. Everybody ain't for you, and it's okay. I don't care what people call you. It's okay to walk away from stuff if it ain't for Xavion. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't adding to you, right? Cut it off. I don't care who it is, who or what it is, right? That's something to help me in life. That's something to help Elga in life. If it don't add to you, man, if it's gonna take from you, if it's a situation you think it's gonna be some negative headlines behind it, get away from it, right? Just think about the stuff your dad had told you. Just keep doing what you've been doing, man. Elga, pass it back off to you.
Yeah, Stuart, I got another question for you, man, before we get off.
All right.
You know, obviously people see now and what's going on. They see the posts, the highlights, the reels and stuff. Talk about, some of the challenges you had to deal with and go through to get them to this spot. You know what I'm saying? The scars, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I'm talking about it was long nights, long drive, man. I'm talking about taking my last, man. You know what I'm saying, to get them there. To my last $100, to get them there and get them back home. And that's the sacrifice that I had to make. For him, not only him, my other son. Man, it wasn't easy. Because I was kind of hard too. I might be smiling, but I'm not an easy guy to get along with when it comes to my boys. So I had to be hard on them, to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Out the game. Sometimes he didn't want me even come in the house. He come, you know what I'm saying? Because I got something to say. It's like, man, it's just trials and tribulations, man. Stand on, man. Just doing what was right. Support, man. I did everything to make sure I was there. Football game, basketball game, track meet. I didn't miss none of those till like this year.
Yeah.
But man, it's long, bro.
Long. You can't.
I remember one time you told me. Remember I talked to you and I seen you at the football game. You had something to say to him, and you told him something, man, that stuck with me. There's a lot of kids out there, man, that same size, same level. You want to be that guy, you got to work hard. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of kids that play football. A lot of kids play all sports. But you just gave him words of encouragement. And me too at the same time, man,
I appreciate that, man. I had no idea. I was just giving him what I done lived, man, and been through. And still actually have to continue to apply to my life now, man. It's kind of hard to even put into words for you to really be able to explain everything that came with that process and what you had to do, man, as a father, giving your last, and sometimes probably not even wanting to go, all the different things that's going on. My last question is, at times where he didn't give his best performance, you want to come in and give it to him, but how you still, because I think there is a level of, even after your child went out there and performed to their best of their ability, and they still fall short, because that's going to happen. Every individual on this screen right now can testify and say at different times in their life where they're giving their best and they still fell short. You know, how do you still let him know you love him and you're proud of him, but still try to give him that information of, hey, you know, I need you to do this to get a little bit better. Because I'm pretty sure, because your emotions in it, you know, like, you know, I'm pretty sure that was a challenge as well, huh?
And Junior was more with X. I can't just say anything. You know, with Junior, I can speak my mind. He gonna listen. You know, with X, I gotta be calm. I gotta be cool. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that. But I used to come out loud. I had to learn that. My wife had to do it for me. You know, she's like, you can't come in here like don't shut down. So I had to learn that. You know, and once I learned that, it can't start coming easy, man. It's gonna be all right, bro. You know, you did everything. You played your heart out. You know what I'm saying? We go on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna dwell on it. We got next week. You know, it's just how I try to put it to them.
Yeah. It's man, salute to you and your wife, you know, being able to, for you to be able to receive that and what she's telling you, you know, and you being like, you know what, I do need to improve on it. I do need to work on that. And then able to have her to balance you out. And this really is just being parents, man. I think, you know, one thing as parents is that you do want to be tough on your kids. You do want to let them know when they're wrong, but you also always want to make sure you cover them with love. You know what I'm saying? That whenever you done with them, whatever you said what you had to say, you let them know you love them, man. And I can tell just through y'all as parents, y'all have done that, you know. Even in the middle of correcting them, hey, proud of y'all, you know. Yeah. And sometimes as kids, you can't even see it. You're like, man, you just butch me up, bro. You know, so salute to you and your wife on parenting, man. You been able to be a man enough to realize what you need to improve on, how I can be better. I got to approach this situation a little bit different. You can't coach all players the same, man. You know, you can't coach all players the same, man. So, Xavion, I'll say this to you, dude, before, I don't know if Courtney got anything else to say. You know, just remember what got you there. You know, now the game is still the same as far as what's going on the football field, but as far as what's happening off the football field is different. You ain't going to mom and dad's house when the game over with. You going to the dorm, right? You traveling different places now. A lot of the information that was given to you as a kid through your parents, through some of your coaches, those valuable lessons is really what you have to start really applying to really what you're doing now in your life. Because you ain't, like I said, you're not at a 1AA school, you're at a huge school. But there's a lot of, Texas has a huge following. How many people are Longhorns fans? So just that in itself, and an amazing opportunity. So for you, man, just continue to keep your faith and realize that none of this would be possible, bro, at the end of the day, if you didn't have breath in your lungs. You know what I'm saying? About it, the air that was given to you by God, dude. The second thing is the values that's been given to you, let that continue to be a foundation of how you live your life. That work ethic that you got, that recipe should never change, bro. Whatever those ingredients is to that work ethic, keep it there and stay strict to that. And the other thing I'll say is find you an older guy. You've been around long enough, you've been around your daddy long enough that you can sit back and observe and watch people. And you could be able to watch individuals that's in that locker room to see not just how they practice on the field, not just how they are in the weight room, but how are they as a man outside the field, how they handle themselves, how they handle people, how they treat people, bro. You know what I'm saying? How they treat people, how they carrying out themselves and conducting themselves, because at the end of the day, your dad has been a big mentor in your life, but you also gonna have to find somebody in that locker room too that over time that can take you underneath their wing, that can be able to mold you and show you and you can learn from. You know, you're very great at what you do, but in order to be elite, I got to have somebody else to run with me, to show me how to hunt as well. So just sit back and observing the individual on that team, man, that how they conduct themselves, not just on the field, but off the field, that'll be kind of mentor you, man, you know, and play like that big brother role. Because at the end of the day, you're doing it right now to your younger brothers, to your younger siblings. So, and then as you get older, you're going to continue to do that to a young cat that's going to come in the locker room and look at you when you're a senior or junior and going to say, hey, Xavion, you a teacher and show me this. So the value in life is being teachers, man, and showing and giving back. Don't get complacent, bro. It is easy for any human being to get kind of like, all right, man, I done made it, I done ride. You know, continue to keep that why at your forefront, why I do this. Continue to keep asking myself, how can I improve? And I'm going to say this. When you have a goal and you have a growth plan, that's two totally different things. One of your goals was to get to college, right? And play at a big time college. Now you've made it. Okay, now your next goal is, you know, you talked about earlier about getting to the league. All right, then you get to the league, right? And so you play 10 years, you blessed to play 15 years. Whatever those years look like, that's awesome. But when you hit a goal, it's like, all right, what's next? Always search to grow in life. I ain't never heard nobody say they tired of growing. You know what I'm saying? And growth keeps you open to in your mindset. And then when you're searching for growth, it's hard to get complacent when I'm searching for growth. When I hit a goal, it's like, dang, I done hit my goal. Now what I got to think about it for a second. When I'm thinking about growing, those roots got to continue to keep growing. The bigger the tree, the deeper the roots grow. So think about a growth. Like, what's my growth? Like, how am I growing? All right?
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna give you a tip.
Man. Proud of you, bro. Again, Stuart. Salute you, bro. You and your wife for what y'all doing in y'all's children's lives, man. As parents. And Xavion, man, proud of you, bro. And salute you as well for not just the athlete that you on the field, but the individual that you off the field. So
appreciate it, man. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a chance to because I know he driving right now, right? Your older brother. I got a chance to play with my brothers and cousins in high school, and that was big for me. So Xavier, before we get off, talk about how impactful that was to be able to go to camps with your brother, to be able to see your brother coming before you, doing this thing in track, going on after school before you did. Talk about that impact that your bro had on you.
My brother, he really gave me the impact for me to get better every day, because he always pushed me to become who I am now. And he still pushed me to be better every day as it is now. So I say I appreciate him for that, because without him pushing me, I wouldn't be at the spot that I.
It's big. It's big. And before we get out of here, to you, Stuart, you know, we come from a place where a lot of people do stuff the right way, but a lot of people do stuff the wrong way too. Easy to get caught up in trouble, right? Trouble will find you easy where we're from, and it's small, so it ain't really no getting away with it, right? And it's gonna come see you. If you got where we're from, if you quote unquote beefing with somebody, you gotta see him. You gotta see him at least, you know what I'm saying? At least 5 times a week. You got to, you know what I'm saying? So coming from that place, right? I'm sure you had your share of trouble, right? You seen a lot of people do stuff the wrong way. Shout out to you for doing the right stuff with your children, man. 'Cause that light don't get shined enough when, especially in our community, when you have Black fathers that come from a place where they could have went left easy. It's easy for you to go left. I see a lot of older cats now putting the wrong things into these youngsters, right? Telling them it's cool to be out here toting all these pistols and beefing with each other over nothing, and, you know, just doing a whole lot of stupid stuff. Stupid stuff, but fun, right? Because we can't sit here and lie like we ain't all done stuff that was stupid stuff that was fun for us to do, but we know it was a pothole, right? So you ain't sending your son out there knowing it's a pothole up the road. So son, here jump in this Ferrari and go 120 miles per hour right at that pothole and hit it, right? You telling them now, go slow, go around there, go the other way. That's big, man. That's huge. because it didn't have to be that way. Xavion, the rest of the kids in the car, want y'all to know what y'all have is something a lot of kids don't have, right? And it ain't promised to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I had my dad in my life, still do, right? I'm happy for that, but a bunch of my homeboys didn't, right? And I shared my dad with them, and he was impactful on them. But to have it in the house with you, right, and to have it right there by your side all the time, that's bigger than y'all ever know. When y'all grow up and have your own children, know that, right? I know you got a daughter. To your daughter, know that masculine figure, when you picking whoever you're gonna be with in life, make sure it's somebody who got values like daddy got, right? So a lot of these cats have them and leave them, you know what I'm saying? And now it's up to the world to raise them. It's easy to get influence when that ain't there. So I want to shout you out, salute you on that again, because I know for a fact it could have been different. But you got 3 of them coming up. You got nephews looking up to you, looking up to them. You setting an example. Your sons, Xavion, Stu, y'all setting an example for these young men coming behind y'all. Latasha be setting an example for the young ladies. Shout out to y'all, man. Kudos to y'all. Just keep doing what y'all been doing. Keep on striving to be great. Keep being great. Xavion, last thing I leave you with is, man, I know the NFL, your goal, right? Don't make it too big, right? Keep everything simple, everything small in front of you. Win every play, right? Because that goal that you said, it don't exist yet, but everything you doing today, right? Every decision you making right now, that next decision is building up to that goal that you got down the road. So you make the next right decision all the time. Make the next right play. Keep doing that work. When you don't feel like getting up, get up and go anyway. Keep doing that daily, and then that goal will manifest itself, right? And like Edgar said, keep finding ways to grow. And the best way I know to grow is running to the adversity, man, running to that pressure and bust it. You know what I'm saying? Make your way. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what y'all doing. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Appreciate you for your time, Xavion. Appreciate you for sharing your family with us, Stu. Because you ain't have to do that either. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having me, man.
Right on, Zay. Okay. Xavion, you need either one of us for anything, just holler. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Edgar, he been down that lane you going down. So reach out to him, use him. You know what I'm saying? If you need him, you need some advice, you need, if somebody talking to you about something you ain't quite sure about, if he can't give you the answer, he knows somebody who can, so use him. You need anything from me, use me, man. We here, and we're proud of y'all. That being said, this is the L.I.T Code. We'll see y'all later.